Hey everyone, hope you're having an amazing week. Oh, look, we are about to go over the Hathaway Bridge. Gonna give you a little snippet and little history on St. Andrews Bay. Hope you guys enjoy this video and stay tuned for some history. And let me just say this too. I have been doing these videos like this quite a few times before. Ride-alongs. I think they're great. I think if people don't ever get to Florida, that you might enjoy some of these. Between 1861 and 1865, St. Andrews Bay Salt Works, one of the largest producers of salt in the South, contributed to the Confederate cause by providing salt, fish, cattle for Southern troops for as much as $50 per bushel, and was produced in wood-fired salt works on the perimeter of the West Bay, East Bay, and North Bay, and Lake Powell. An estimated 2,500 men, primarily from Florida, Georgia, and Alabama, were exempt from combat in order to labor in the salt works. The salt was transported to Eufaula, Alabama, then to Montgomery, and then distributed throughout the Confederate States. Because of the importance of St. Andrews Bay, the salt works to the Confederacy, acting Master W.R. Brown, commander of the U.S. Restless, was introduced to the commerce a series of assaults beginning in August 1862. In December 1863, additional Union attacks occurred, which Confederate home guards could not resist. The attacks resulted in the destruction of more than 290 salt works, valued by Master Brown at more than $3 million. St. Andrews Bay Salt Works employees promptly rebuilt them, and they remained in operation through February 1865. As you guys can see here, this is the historic downtown Panama City, St. Andrews, as many have called it. St. Andrews has been an excellent place to live for a long time. It was inhabited, and locally, artifacts were found that were Native Americans. Local Native Americans had a rich and varied culture that changed throughout time. Resource availability, population increases, as evidenced by the numerous shell scattered along St. Andrews Bay. They gathered shellfish out in St. Andrews Bay. In St. Andrews Bay was a long beach drive between Frankfort Ave and Lake Caroline, known as Old Town or St. Andrews City, as you can see here. Retired Georgia Governor John Clark and his wife Nancy built a home, lived there from 1827 until 1832. Just a few people resided year-round in St. Andrews, earning a living making salt, fishing, boarding, vacationers who came to the area for the healthy sea baths, and fishing. By the mid-1800s, the summer population was between 12 and 1,500. The Clark home was converted into a hotel known as the Tavern. One visitor to the hotel was noted Southern writer Caroline Hertz. Lake Caroline was named for her. In 1845, the town was referred to as St. Andrews by the post office. The survey in 1855, the official survey, showed the town of St. Andrews City, and the bay was called St. Andrews Bay. In 1902, the post office accidentally left off the S and never corrected it. So it's St. Andrew Bay. St. Andrews News printed that George M. West in the early 1900s listed the town as St. Andrews, but referred to the post office as St. Andrew. Most continue to refer to the community as St. Andrews, which that's what we do today. And here we are about to go over the bridge, and that right there on the right, Tarpon Docks, best seafood in town, fresh from the Gulf. During the Civil War, St. Andrews was strategic in the salt supply to the Confederate troops, making it a target for the North. Federal troops made many raids in the area, and the town was destroyed in 1863. Lambert Ware visited the area in 1877 and then returned in 1879. His brother Francis joined him in 1882. They operated Ware Mercantile and Ware's Wharf on the present Harbor Village, St. Andrews Marina sites, which that's what we went by and what we're going by now. The town flourished again with salt fishing, boat building, and shipping along the Gulf Coast. About that time, St. Andrews Bay Railroad, Land and Mining Company, locally known as the Cincinnati Company, because they were based out of Cincinnati, Ohio, advertised mail order, get this, mail order real estate with the descriptive, the loveliest location in all of Florida, in a land where the gentle climate of a winterless year-round for sure will reward your every effort with the most bountiful harvest, where the summers are joyous, seasons are refreshing, breezing, and invigorating, nights of cool and healthier slumber, and where the winters are but bewitching, contrast to the summers in hiding and intensifying the delicious pleasures of life. There is but one Florida and one St. Andrews Bay. It is a jewel. In 1908, St. Andrews was incorporated for the first time. It continued to grow in early 1900s and became a popular port on the coast. The SS Tarpon traveled between Mobile and Apalachicola, stopping like clockwork at St. Andrews Bay, delivering beer, flour, and other necessities. One could set your clock by the arrival and departure of the Tarpon. And by the way, that was Tarpon Point, Tarpon Docks, as it is now. And the persistence of her captain and the fact she was overloaded led to her demise. He pushed her on through a storm to be on time, but she sank off Panama City Beach in 1937. The site is now all underwater. Archaeologists have preserved it. Due to the visionary effects of George West, Panama City was incorporated in 1909. Panama City annexed St. Andrews and Millville in 1926. Wainwright Shipyard, circa 1920 off of Beck Avenue, was the site of construction. 33 Liberty ships during World War II. Tyndall Airfield was also constructed during the war, and the movie Clark Gable was enlisted in 1942, was stationed here during the time and patronized local restaurants at St. Andrews. Charter boats, restaurants, attractions, and shops in St. Andrews were bustling with people in the mid-1900s. The community was a destination. The center of attention shifted to Panama City Beach, which opened up to traffic. In the 1980s, commerce in St. Andrews took a sharp dive as businesses and communities left for a new destination, Panama City. Hope you guys enjoyed this short video. A little history about the salts, and a little history about World War II as well. Until our next video, you guys stay salty.